Speaking of film, number 5, I think, for Penn State, the little slot guy. That's potentially a guy that you may be more concentrating on. Talk a little bit about that and kind of what's been going on with you and your coverages.
We're just gonna play him out. We're aware of him. He's a great player. Out in open space, he can really make you miss. So we've talked about it, but I think we're just gonna play our defense. And just be aware of him where he's out in the field at all times. I don't think we're really gonna be certainly narrowing down on him.
How beneficial was it for you now, looking back at it, to come in early?
Huge. You don't have to take those extra times. Just being able to learn the defense, you already know the defense, so you're able to play at a faster pace, faster level each and every day in practice, instead of learning and not being able to just play like you know how to play. So I think that was huge.
Now, we know about the smack talk between the bad boys and the no-fly zone. Who's the worst in practice?
In practice, it just depends on practice, because the bad boys, they say something. We'll be doing one-on-ones. They start off saying something, then it just comes into like just constantly banging heads. So it's fun. We compete like we play in a game in practice. That makes us get that much better. In the trash talk, we hear as much trash talking in practice than we will hear in a game. So we're preparing ourselves for anything that comes our way.
My last thing is, in your mind, what was your best game and what was your worst game this season so far?
Best game, I'd say Western Michigan. Yeah. Second start of the year, second game of college football. I had the interception, the PBUs, really wasn't missing many tackles. I feel like, I need to get back to that level, playing at that high level. Even though they're smaller schools, I still have to just up my level to these bigger schools. And Minnesota, that was my worst game because, I wasn't really focused in the fourth quarter. We didn't play that much in the third and fourth quarter. So, I just got to keep that same mindset that I came in the game with to end the game with.
Just for you guys, last week, Justin Jackson, really good running back. He didn't run the ball for a ton of yards, but him and some other guys they used in space and kind of presented a challenge for you guys tackling. How much? Is to clean that up this week with Saquon obviously being one of the best guys in the country.
Just being able to go into practice, do leverage drills, work on tackling and be able to tackle in space for this week because he's a great back. He's able to do great things in space. So we just have to play with great leverage and be aware of where he's at.
How much of what happened last week? And the numbers were good defensively. They ended up looking a little misleading because it's 3 overtimes. But how much of were like some of the big plays, some of the gains they had? How much of it was just technique?
They had a great game plan going in the game. You just take your eyes off your assignment one time, and something can happen, and that's what happened. So in the overtimes, I feel like we didn't play with great technique, great sound discipline. So that's what happens when you're not able to just be able to lock in and be able to just nail down when time's needed.
There are a lot of similarities.
Yeah. There's a bunch of similarity. They both good quarterbacks. Both great backs. So I feel like they're really similar, and I feel like that's just a good look at what Penn State's going to do. Penn State's they're going to throw the ball down the field a little more than Northwestern did. So we got those couple shots downfield. We played it well. So I feel like we keep playing the deep ball well. We'll force them to check it down. And be able to just leverage and tackle the ball.
Obviously, in any game, you want to try and get the run game going, and it just wasn't working for us. You always have to force. You always got to try and force it to try to open up the passing game. And so for whatever reason, it wasn't working, and that maybe stalled some drives. But it's something you have to do. That didn't help, and then obviously the deep ball misses on my part are big play opportunities that you just got to make to be able to win football games.
What do you do about those deep balls?
Work on them in practice. It's kind of more of a game thing because when you get in the game, you get a little more antsy. You see a guy wide open. It's almost hard to hit a guy when it's wide open because you don't want to miss it or underthrow him. So you try and aim it a little too much. And maybe you don't hit him in stride or whatever. You don't hit it at all. So you just got to work on it in practice. Try and imitate what it's like to have that feeling in the game. Yeah, it wasn't bugging me at all in the game. I knew it was a missed opportunity, but it's not something I'm gonna be three plays down in the road and be like, man, I wish I would have hit that one. I would have. Obviously, after the game, you kind of think about it and be like, wow, that could have changed the game. But when you're in the game, you just take it play by play. You forget the last play if it feels bad. If you forget it feels good. On the positive side, I think when we needed to pass the ball when we were down, I think I did a good job of moving down the field and hitting the guys, just taking what they were giving us.
Is that a maybe a thinking about it too much kind of thing? Maybe you wanting to let yourself, or you want to let yourself go a little more, just be more reactionary instead of, because you talked about aiming, and that's a thinking thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's got to make it more of a just kind of fluid motion, not trying to force anything that's unnatural. Just trying.
My last thing is talk a little bit about Cody White and just how he's progressed and what he's done over these past few weeks to have a game like he did against Northwestern.
He's been fantastic. Being able to see his growth and his his playmaking abilities, his hands that he possesses, and he's done a great job of showing that and showing the Spartan Nation so far.
Talk about the hair, man. What happened?
I was just getting sick of taking care of it, a little bit of distraction, so decided to get rid of it and keep moving forward.
So what does that mean? Hair products? Tired of buying hair products?
No, I didn't even do any of that. It was just always all over the place, just got sick of it. I have had long hair my entire life pretty much, so thought it was time for a change.
Personally for you, talk about, I guess, the improvements you want to make to close out the season strong.
Personally, I want to improve my pass rush. I think I need to improve my pass rush greatly and make sure I continue to tackle well. I've slipped a little bit the last couple weeks, I think, in key places where I should have made tackles that I didn't. So I think I got to improve my tackling and my pass rush.